throw it back out there and be like, right? Maybe.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. What's up, bro?
Hey, it's the What's Up, Bro podcast. We talk movies, sports, TV shows, pop culture, and it's funny, motherfuckers. With nary signs. I'm like, what? How can this... They have Photoshop. Photoshop exists when this artist rendition was done. How the fuck is this not cooler looking than a sketch that looks like it was done by a hillbilly off the side of the road? What the fuck are we talking? Why is this a thing?
So you're telling me there's a chance?
With Missy.
Just let me finish my thought before you fucking interrupt me. Wrong room to ask questions.
Welcome to the party, pal!
And Mike Markadal.
I'm just glad I like vanilla, boring sex like this. I'm glad that the sex I enjoy won't get me killed.
That's how winning is done.
Hey, I'm Dave Chappelle, and this is What's Up, Bro.
All right, and we are recording. We are live. Welcome to the What's Up, Bro podcast, your favorite podcast where you come to watch people debate and talk shit about stuff that they may or may not know and may play it off as if what was happening, but maybe they didn't. Who knows? If you didn't understand,
it's up to you to find out.
Yeah, it's for you to find out, man. Figure this shit out. Use context clues and figure this shit out. I have your signs with me as usual as Missy, Mr. Mina, the writer.
Sure. Yes, we can go with that. Yes. Why not?
Mike.
I yes anded that.
Mercadal.
Mike, the misdemeanor Mercadal.
Yeah. And Steph Animator Senior.
I don't get a remix? Shit.
That is a remix. What are you talking about? That's you have the
pause?
Yeah.
The dramatic pause is your remix.
You know, when I first started doing that years upon years ago, she hated it. She's like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. And then when I didn't do it, she was like, I kind of missed the pause. I kind of missed
it was flair. I liked the flair.
All right, folks. We have a lot to talk about today. Ooh, we got wife and baby in the house. Wife and baby in the house.
Hello. Look, she's so cute. Look.
Oh my God.
Seriously.
Hello, Squishy.
That's adorable.
She's so cute.
Adorable.
To the audio listener, I'm holding my baby now.
No, he's not. He's holding a turkey leg that is just delicious looking.
Put that chainsaw down.
You're going to go a different direction.
Your name is covering her face. There she is.
Yeah.
She's
Look,
so
she is
cute.
mesmerized by herself, just like her daddy.
That's what I do.
There's the other. It's a full house. Get it?
And to the listener, their older daughter walked in, realized she was in her PJs, and ran back out.
Actually, that's not what she did. She wanted to still be on camera, but my wife was like, don't go in there.
Oh, she called her?
Okay, yeah, she's like, okay, turn right back around. Anyways, today we have a crazy show because there's a lot of things that happen on in the world today, this week, and I want to kind of talk about it. First of all, I wanted to talk about something that we didn't get to last week because me, Steph, and Martika got way into other crazy shit. It was a good episode. I had fun with that episode.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about this. This happened last week, but I wanted to talk about it. Apparently, superheroes do not give oral sex. That's
Right.
That's now canon.
Oh.
Yeah. That apparently
I'm sorry, I'm watching your daughter's face and her eyes just widen at that same moment.
You're
Here's
you're
the thing.
holding a baby.
She's very suspicious. From the jump, since the second she came out of Vanessa, she's always been like, "What is this? What's it about?" Like the whole time.
That's because Neri's face was right there because he wasn't a super. He's not a super.
I actually am not. I was not there because I had the COVID. I was not there.
Right.
I was, which sounds sad, but it's the second sequel, really.
Come on.
Like, how excited can you be about it? I'm like, really? You remember how great the Matrix was? And then you got Matrix Part 3. You're like, oh, yeah, I mean, I guess I'll have to
your daughter's gonna hear this one. Like, she's gonna know that you called her like the third Matrix.
I mean,
I called her. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, she's Spider-Man 3. We get it. Yeah, she's
Rocky
Spider-Man
5 out of all the Rockies.
Out of all the Rockies, right? You know, you're going excited.
Oh, God, she's so good.
So so Batman, they wanted to in the new Harley Quinn season 3 of Harley Quinn or season 2?
The animated show on
Three,
HBO Max.
I'm asking season 2. So season 2 of Harley Quinn.
I thought they were
the
going
animated
into
show-
3.
Yeah, I thought so too. But
I'm gonna verify my
Misty
guess.
is the resident
No, I was
diehard
guessing.
fan of that, even though I've watched
Oh.
more episodes than her.
I have watched all of it.
Yeah, but after I did, sure.
Okay.
It's not a competition, guys. It's not.
Apparently.
A competition.
I don't know if you heard me. I got it. No. So then she so there was a scene that they wanted to animate, that they wanted to put in, where it was Batman going down on Catwoman. It's 3.
Yeah, they're going into the third one.
They're going into the 3rd season.
Uh-oh.
Look how mad she is. Oh,
No,
calm
it's-
down in front of the microphone. Look at that.
She's like, put me in front of the mic, Dad. One mic. All I need, one stage, one mic. What? So let's get to some comments, because I'm sure people are talking about
The baby.
Batman has handles in his cowl. Don't tell me it isn't built for this. I agree.
That's jumping
So
the gun.
they were gonna draw a scene where he was going down on Catwoman. WB execs, which if you've seen the show, it's very surprising that they stepped in at this point, because that show is super non-PC, super like it's
Correct.
bonkers. So for them
It's
to have a problem
straight
with
up R-rated, like it's a fucking R-rated show, violent, like cursing, fucks, f-bombs everywhere, like it's a fucking R-rated
killing,
show.
And violence.
exposing body parts, like it's crazy, it's absurd, and it was pretty wild to me to hear that Warner Brothers execs, this is where they stepped in. This is where they go, whoa. And
This is a step too far, sir.
Yeah,
a woman enjoying sex, not on my watch.
not on my
That's-
watch.
Yeah.
And
Paying
that's
attention to a woman's needs, villainy.
well, that's what the producer said. So the Warner Brothers executives, apparently in an interview with, I believe, Variety, the story goes that they said, your heroes don't do this. Heroes don't
heroes
work
don't do
out.
that.
And the response was, so are you
If
telling
you
me
don't,
heroes
you're a
are
villain.
selfish? So are you telling me heroes are selfish lovers? It was the response. And it doesn't matter, because it didn't happen. Twitter was all a buzz a couple weeks ago, again, because we should have talked about this last week, but I couldn't. And then it came out that Kevin, all these responses were going crazy, and then Twitter said, Kevin Smith on Twitter posted a screenshot in his story arc of when he wrote the Green Arrow. He had Ollie going down on somebody. And when they protested and they said, he wouldn't do that, he said, well, he will always hit his mark, and he would make them quiver, was his response on Twitter. And I thought that was a funny joke, but then he put the fucking screenshot of the panel of Ollie going down, and I'm like, well, okay, well, yeah. So I found it's funny how like so maybe just the B heroes, like you can't be part of the A squad, and you know what I mean. So it can't be Batman or Superman going down, but Green Arrow, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think maybe Kevin Smith had a bit more sway at that time.
Kevin Smith's also a pervert. Like he's like, yeah, who gives a shit? These guys are, like he's telling a version of his stories. He's got like in Clerks, someone dies getting a hard on in the bathroom, and then the girl comes in and fucks him. Fucks a dead guy. Like it's not like
By
he's
accident, Missy, by accident.
You've never seen Clerks? Oh my god.
No, yes, I have. I'm
I
just
have.
making the face because I don't know
Yeah.
that sex with a dead person is a thing that you should do.
But she didn't know. She didn't know.
She didn't know.
Apparently penises stay erect after death for a certain amount
Rigor
of time.
mortis had set in.
Excuse me, making
But
notes.
this is the kind of shit that he made a movie where a guy turns into a walrus. Like he's
I mean, not for nothing, but like guys do have an imagination that is questionable. So, like
Wait a minute.
What do you mean?
Wait a minute.
Listen.
What do you mean? Well, you think Danielle Steele and her quivering members in her romance novels isn't an imagination running away? Some lady gets kidnapped by a pirate.
No,
and
I
then
don't
wants to
fuck with
fuck a
Danielle
pirate?
Steele. She's too like elegant about
so
that.
Look, I'm not going to compare one to the other. I'm well aware that fairy porn exists, and like there is a line and a trajectory that traditionally female women will go. I think we're all perverted in our own way.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Equal opportunity perverts.
Yes.
Oh
I
God!
do
Look
think-
at her. She's like, "What the fuck is this?"
I do
don't
think
feel comfortable
generally,
talking
I
about
think
this in
like
front of a
maybe
video.
what Missy means is that like generally you'll see like more scandalous stuff come out of like media where men have helped it. Like
My favorite take on this whole Batman thing, because there's been a lot of outcry because of this, and
Yes.
like even Zack Snyder posted a picture of literally a frame of Batman going down on Catwoman, and then just wrote canon. My favorite take, I sent it to you, Neri. I don't know if you want to put it up. Is this artist Luke McGarry, and it was so funny to me when I first saw it that I was dying laughing because of how smart this comic is. This little image. Can you put it up or no?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I sent it to you in the chat.
In the Facebook chat.
Yeah.
do you want to read some comments while he's looking for that then?
I'll do that. I can do that.
Well, hold on.
No, he.
All right. So that was Jeff. Yolanda says Lucy was talking about my daughter. Vanessa said there's a reason why we like villains more. Rookie said when Batman begins, only Batman finishes.
Well played.
Can we give him a? Can we give him a? Bam, 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 bam. Can we give him one of those?
Yeah, he needs a.
Yeah, that's pretty great. Then Olivia, my friend Olivia put, but if it was the other way around, they would be okay with it. Like
100%. They would
like
be okay if it was
Catwoman,
like Catwoman going down.
I don't know.
this-
Catwoman feels like she will use her teeth, and I don't think that's okay.
A cautionary tale. What not to
Catwoman
do?
would.
Everybody gets offended. At that
Catwoman's definitely into like a little bit of bondage play. Like
no,
Get out of town.
no, cover Lucy's ears.
The truth of the matter is that Selena Kyle. See, that was my take. My take was Batman doesn't go down on women, but Bruce Wayne for sure does. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like he may be more into it with the getup than he would be just regular Bruce Wayne.
man.
yeah, no, let's be real.
Wayne-
Where Selena Kyle and Catwoman is a dom, he is a sub, 100%. In the
Sure.
bedroom, he is 100% submissive and like whatever you want, that's his
So-
place.
There was a tweet that said that talked about all the superheroes, whether they go down or not. And it said Bruce Wayne. It says is the kind of guy who says he goes down, but he actually doesn't.
But he doesn't.
Oh, that actually might be true.
And that makes
Yeah.
sense, doesn't it? Like a rich, fucking, good-looking playboy. Like, no, I'll take care of you, but he doesn't. He
Yeah.
doesn't reciprocate. He
He's
gets
one of
his
those
and
guys
gets
that really
the
just
fuck
kind of
out.
like grazes over, stays there for like 2 seconds on his way back up to be like, now me.
Oh, I
Mhm.
did
He's
it.
like,
No, you
yeah, I did it. Like, bitch, you visited.
You did a drive-by.
I need this elevator to be fucking.
I need you to stay, have a cup of coffee, like hang out.
Let's talk about life.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hold on. All right. So I got the image here, and the image.
That's DJ Khaled.
Oh no!
Why did your friend draw me?
You're so stupid.
It's a DJ Khaled tying up Batman and going, "You're not so, Batman, we're not so different, you and I," because DJ Khaled famously refuses to do that too. Publicly refuses to do that.
He says that, but I think he's one of those the other way around where he's like,
No.
"Yeah."
I don't know,
It's like- I
man.
think it's the hip
You
hop
wouldn't
culture.
claim.
I think it's the hip hop culture where you're like, no, because it's the same thing with the Sopranos. Remember when fucking when Tony's uncle, when they found out Tony's uncle went down on a girl and it caused like all sorts of like, like it's old school mentality where guys don't do that type of shit. And you never saw Sopranos, I'm assuming.
I don't remember that. I haven't seen
So
Sopranos.
it was season 1, and the secret was let out that his uncle Junior was dating a hairstylist, which did Camilla's hair, and she let it be known that he loves to go down on her. So when he told Tony that, Tony would make like take little shots and references, but never really flat out say. And then other people started getting the gist. And Junior had to break up with this chick. He almost fucking killed her, where he was like, I can't be with you anymore because that if people found that out about me, that would destroy, like that would the whole thing. I think it's the same thing with the hip hop culture. At least what Khaled thinks is that way. At least I believe that Khaled believes that you can't talk about that going down on a chick for whatever fucking stupid reason, Neanderthalic reason, and he's saying that out loud. But he's fat, bro. We eat everything. Get the fuck out of here with this bullshit. Like I don't believe.
Boo.
I don't believe that.
You don't think he really is just one of those guys that he has internalized that and then now like lives it?
Maybe.
Because the thing is, I think you're right in the sense that he's internalized this whole thing of like, oh, you're less of a man if you like, I have to be a real man. I don't do that shit. Because like, what is it? He phrased it like, oh, you're a king. When you're a king, you don't do that.
Some shit. I remember on stage one time when I was an open micer, I did an urban show, and it was brutal. Like I died on stage 1,000 times. But at the end, when I was saying I'm not just fat for anything, I eat everything, is what I said. That was a thing, and it usually gets a huge laugh. And the guy in front of me goes, "Not everything," and I go, "No, everything." And he was like, he looked at his friend and he was like, "I think he's talking about that he licks a girl's booty hole." Like I heard him say that from the stage.
A booty? Oh, you went straight to booty hole.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But I was like, yeah, like I was totally like, yeah, no, I mean, you're right there. I mean, yeah.
Eat the booty like groceries. Yes.
Yeah,
of course.
yeah. I don't understand.
We've all heard the famous lyric.
Of course.
The famous poem.
What
Eat the
poetry?
booty like groceries.
Who is this poet?
You never heard
Will
that?
I
What's
forget
that
it?
song from? I don't. Eat
Pull
the
that
booty
up.
like
Pull that
Jeff
lyric
knows.
up.
Jeff,
lyric up.
what's the name of that song? Jeff knows.
I think it's
our Google. He's our Ask Jeeves.
I think it's I want to say,
Young Thug rapped "Eat the Booty Like Best Friend." It's called. Hold it. I can't say that word. I'm gonna eat that booty like groceries. Eat on that coochie. Lay that bitch down like let's do it. Yeah, come on. It is. I think
go for you.
The culture has shifted. Everybody eating everything these days.
I like the fact that 5 years ago Stephanie would have been like, "Hey, why she gotta be a bitch?" But because he's talking about going down on a bitch, he's like, "Good for you." Stephanie's all
I'm
for
like,
it
you
now.
know
He's
what?
like, yeah, you know
Give and take. That's give and take.
Jeff says, which movie, TV, Batman actor would be the best one at it? I'm all in on Batfleck. Yeah, Batfleck would definitely legit. He would legit go
I
down.
don't know. Maybe I'm projecting, but I hope that it's Keaton.
I don't know. I hope for J-Lo's sake it's Batfleck.
Vanessa thinks it's Clooney.
Yes,
That's
he's had
what
a lot
it
of
was.
practice.
That's what it was.
I don't-
Clooney is the Bruce
I don't
Wayne
know,
that
but, like, I
claims
think-
he does, but really doesn't. That's
That's what I'm gonna say. I think
that's it.
like, what if Clooney's one of those pretty boys that never had to work for it? You know what I mean? Whereas Keaton would have to. And-
Speaking as a pretty boy who never had to work for it, I think that.
Are we getting a call? We're getting a caller. Hold on, we're getting a call. Holding line 1 for pretty boy. Hold on, give me a second.
Yeah. No, like there's like there's
It's
misconceptions.
2021. Why is this a fucking issue?
not-
I don't
it's
understand.
not.
Because it's
why this shit- why is it-
commentary on the fucking American philosophy about sex,
No, I
which
think
is missionary vanilla and then go home.
I don't
think
think
and
that's
then-
I've been wait, hold on. I've been, from what I'm told, like American porn is fucking crazy compared to the other countries. Like you go to Asian countries, and apparently this is what I've heard on other people's podcasts, that I've heard other people who are natives from Asian countries, and they blur out the fucking bush and they blur out the penis. And then when they finally watch American porn, they're like awestruck, like, "Oh my god, this is crazy!" So I don't believe the American construct on sex is missionary and boring.
We're talking about.
I don't think
talking
porn
about
and
the-
actual sex do not equate.
Correct.
Dude.
And I'm talking about
talking
the
about-
conversation about sex. We're not talking about porn. And the whole thing, the whole philosophy
I feel like we're saying
behind. No, no. Well, you should talk to somebody about that because no.
let's unwrap this.
Let's unpack this.
what,
No.
what- I agree
What
with. Yeah,
Well, no.
Let Missy finish.
No, what I was gonna say is that it's a commentary on how, as a culture, our philosophy about sex is like he would never. But it's cool if you watch it in porn, like in quiet, because porn, generally speaking, not in this room, but generally speaking, it's like taboo, not something that is still mainstream, even though like it is mainstream, but nobody talks about it because of our philosophy about sex.
Well, I agree with you that it is that, but it's also the shame of it because did I scare you so much with my agreement that you're like, oh my
It
god,
shook me. I'm like,
Yeah.
Clifford, I'm writing it down.
But it also has to, but like the added wrinkle to that is the shame because
Penis wrinkle.
everybody freaky.
You said the same thing.
What?
Penis wrinkle. The moment you said the added wrinkle, we were all thinking like penis wrinkle.
Testicles. Yeah.
Baby, go ahead.
The added fold, if you will, of the added foreskin of the situation that conceals the most tender of places is the fact that there's like it's the shame of it, the fact that you have to keep it hidden because people have been fucking like people
People
like
be fucking a lot.
people have been fucking like it's not new that
Correct.
people are fucking
So-
freaks. So what it is I think what makes this such a hot button issue is that it's a pop culture thing happening, and it's because superhero culture has become pop culture and it's just so out there. Such an old-fashioned thing coming from a studio executive like Warner Brothers just being like, damn, they're gonna fuck up Batman even more. You know, like
I feel like
I think it's a marketability thing because of Twitter and because it got blasted out
There
there.
was a panel on a Batman comic that I believe it was last year, if I'm not mistaken, where they showed Bruce Wayne's dick. Like
I feel
they
like this is
showed
something
Bruce
Scorsese
Wayne's
would have said.
dick.
But my point is the disconnect between how comics have treated sex and being sex positive and gender and all these things, and Warner Brothers, who's in charge of the rights of all of these things, being so old school and ass backwards about their views on sex. Like ass backwards. You know, like how many more puns and innuendos can we? And
But it's so weird. Like it's so weird. Like watching like the CW shows, which are all DC shows. Like there's so much LGBTQ plus representation. There's so much like it's. I was telling Missy like some of it's like overboard preachy. Where I'm like, okay, I get it. You guys are cool. Like we'll just write an episode.
You're an ally. I got it.
I got it. We're allies. We're all allies. We're all happy. We don't. Supergirl's flag cape doesn't need to be the fucking flag. We don't. Okay, all right.
Was it?
No,
Did that
but
happen?
it was so close to it. Where it was okay, we get it. Like it was one of those.
Well,
things.
I mean, it's a big deal to the people who want to be represented. too.
Correct.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
It doesn't need
representation
to
is
be-
big.
It doesn't need to be all 16 episodes of the season though. Like I get like you know what I mean. Like I'm like that's the same
I don't
problem.
know. I honestly,
Same problem I had with Will and Grace, where I'm like every joke is a gay joke. Every single
It's
fucking
Will
joke
and
is a gay
Grace.
joke. Yeah.
Of course.
But
It's
what, it
Will
doesn't
and
make any
Grace
sense. It
going-
doesn't make any sense to me. I don't like going to see any comedian.
It's like going to a drag club and be like, too much makeup. Like what the fuck?
No,
You went to
no.
Will
Is
and
every
Grace
show is every guest a drag queen? What is this?
No,
Yeah, it's a drag show,
I
asshole.
just hate. I don't appreciate going to any comedy show and then having a comedian only talk about one topic. It bothers me. That's why I don't like
That's
Chris
true.
Rock.
Well,
It's fucking over. All right, we get it. Yeah, okay. Like just
Yeah, but you
fucking
also have to
move on.
remember like how unique Will and Grace was for its time. There's stuff that does not age well from that show either.
A lot of super. Anyways, let's get to some comments. Jeff says Japan blocks out peepees. That's why they created tentacle porn, or so I've heard. Yolanda says that she's taking notes. Take some notes. I just pictured now Yolanda watching tentacle porn.
yeah.
Yolanda, it's called hentai. Hentai?
Hentai.
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 It's literally right there.
Oh, yeah. There you
Next
go.
comment.
Yeah.
So yeah, enjoy that, Yolanda. I just don't. I don't know. I thought it ridiculous that Warner Brothers, and I think the internet as a whole also saw it ridiculous. That
I think
Warner
everybody rolled their
Not
eyes.
everybody, because I went to Zack Snyder's Twitter feed when he posted that whole thing about being canon,
At it. Oh my god.
and then like the first comment that I read was his lady was like, Zach, why do you tarnish your reputation and your legacy? You know,
'Cause that gives zero
most of the people who watch this are kids, and like blah blah. And I was like, that's incorrect, madam.
That is not
That
not
is
this show.
incorrect. And here's the thing: they have Batman comics that are meant for kids, but they're not this. And
Yeah.
when you see Batman in
Wait.
blue,
Hold on. Let's
So
talk
wait,
about
it's
who
also- it's
Batman
also-
is. Batman is a fucking psychopath
yeah,
who beats the shit out of poor people because he's rich and can. Like
Yeah.
Batman is not for children. Batman is not to be emulated.
No.
He's a fucking monster.
and if
You know
we're
what I
being
mean?
honest with you,
Who coulda
Batman's
just gone
cape
to
has
therapy.
the blue stripe down the middle, where you're like Batman's
Yeah.
like, you motherfucker, blah blah.
But can I ask a question?
Look.
They won't share the scene, but does the image exist anywhere? Just out of curiosity.
No, because they never like it was. I think it was like storyboard phase. I'm
Yeah,
not
I
quite
think
sure, but they
Storyboard
hadn't
phase.
gotten to.
Maybe
that
they
far
just
yet.
fucking leaked that they're not doing it just to cause a fucking commotion about it.
Maybe, but like
No, the guy. It was an interview where the guy who
Just crack
helms
the
the
case,
show.
guys.
The guy who helms the show like put it out there, just being like, "This is the kind of shit we couldn't do." Da 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 da. He's
And the
just
question was,
fucking around.
it was a big question because they said the show is so crazy, it's so over the top. Is there anything you haven't been allowed to do? So they asked
yeah,
him.
he was
but
just sharing a story.
It wasn't him like, can you believe these motherfuckers? Like, it wasn't him just coming out. And then he followed up that statement and said, to be fair, they have been very lenient with us on everything else. That was just that one time when they did
But
it.
then,
Mhm.
okay.
But you know what's annoying?
Then-
Okay, sorry.
Then you're telling me that all the violence and gore
right.
It's okay.
and like
sex. And there's other
and-
sex in the fucking in
right,
the show.
all of that is fine. We draw the line at
At
a woman. At woman.
Batman.
No, it's Batman. It's not about. That's
Not
the
the
thing.
woman. They draw the line at Batman. That's why I said before, because if they've shown other characters having sex, it's Batman specifically because he's the A title. He's the A character. And I'm like, whoa.
Batman is one of the big three for DC. Like he's part of the holy trinity for them. You know, like it's Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. Those are all the big three.
Misty,
And-
what were you gonna ask though?
I forgot.
Well, the thing is that the murder and the violence and all that stuff, it's like because of the American values and all that stuff. And they show sex with other less that's like when they make like a third tier character gay and they're like, oh, there's a gay character. It's like, yeah, but none of the like it's a throwaway character.
It's a bare minimum kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like a bare minimum.
I want to
Like,
go
kind
to
of-
Europe and like meet an I feel like Italians can fuck. And like I want to go to Italy and find out. Because I'm not gonna get that experience here for
You
sure.
heard it here first.
You know they have
wants to
Italians
get
here, right?
fucked.
You know they have Italians here. Missy.
No, I want authentic. I
Oh,
want
you want the
I
prosciutto?
want homegrown.
You want the
Yes, I want the
prosciutto?
bruschetta
You want the
Italian.
bruschetta,
That's
that's
for you,
Missy
Vanessa.
wants to come like this.
Correct.
That's how Missy-
Chef's kiss, just like that.
Like when
No.
when he reaches orgasm.
Stop, bitch!
I'm
wants
a coming.
Yeah. Paisana.
Don't ruin
No,
this
you
for
know what's-
me.
You know, it's the weird
Do
thing
not
too about
ruin
the
the
whole.
fantasy.
When he
for
comes,
me.
he goes, gabagool. You know.
I quit. You fuckers.
For
Do not ruin this for me.
For years, Missy. For years,
Come
I've
on, ass, go over here.
I've had it
Can
hanging
we
over
get
my
the
head.
lady talk? Go ahead.
I'm
Man.
saying,
we're
don't
cutting
worry.
this
For
out.
years, I've had it hanging over my head. Then Aries convinced my fiance to at some point say crikey. Like
For an
it's
orgasm.
not just you, the gabagool. It's
I know, but don't ruin this fantasy for
Crikey
me, guys.
is
Just
great.
leave it
Crikey is
alone.
great.
I
You
want
know
him to
what's-
say,
you know
oh,
what's
he
good
can't-
about you know what's good about Dave is when I suggested it to him, I'm like, hey, you know, when you finish, you should say crikey. His face lit up and he's like, oh,
Yeah.
he was like, oh,
Leave it
and
to
then she
Neri.
was like, you don't do that to me. And then he still holds it over her head, literally and figuratively, and she's like, and then she's like,
like,
don't you dare.
one day, and I'm like, great, thanks for that. Thanks for that. There's a little bit of anxiety in my sex just because I'm like, it's today the day.
You're not-
It's today the day.
It's today the day. I have to.
Your
do it.
Lonza says, my Cuban can. Oh, it's not just Italians.
Thanks,
it's
Dad.
also Mike's dad.
Way to go, Dad.
Sometimes you get to see Mike die a little inside.
Vanessa, I think
no,
you're number
they're
one
fine.
too.
Jeff says, bibbidi bobbidi boo, now I finish in you.
No.
man.
I cannot. I hate
I
everyone.
like the fact that he put, you know what? I read it wrong. There's an A that I didn't read. Bibbidi bobbidi boo, now I finish in a U. In a U. Now I finish in a U.
I hate everyone.
Rookie says, in the show, Harley says the Batcave is where Batman fucks bats and the execs were fine with it. But this was the bridge that was too far for them. Yeah,
Correct. Women having an
post-COVID era
orgasm.
and
Yeah.
Women
Fuck that.
feeling pleasure, him actually attending to the woman is too far. Because
Wouldn't
mind
it be
you,
crazy? Wouldn't it be great if the executives were like, "No, we're not anti-women receiving orgasms. We just think Batman's selfish, and he wouldn't do it." Like, wouldn't it be great?
Then
if
that would
was
make more
wrong?
sense.
That would have been such
That
a better take.
That would have been such a better take for
good
them.
That would have checked out.
That That would have made sense.
a
Like
certain
Batman's
degree.
selfish. Have you fucking Batman? Batman's selfish. He doesn't give a fuck.
He's so self-obsessed. He dresses like a bat to fight crime rather than fund the community around him with his billions of dollars.
Oh, you got my going. Look what you did, you little
wait, hold
jerk.
on. Isn't I do agree with my
It's me, Mario. I am going to come.
Isn't Bruce Wayne supposed to be a philanthropist though?
Yeah.
sorry,
He's supposed
what?
to be a philanthropist, yeah.
Isn't Bruce Wayne a philanthropist though? Like,
Yeah,
doesn't he
he's-
donate to the community?
Yeah, but he does everything because he pays somebody else to. He doesn't. He's not in there
He
building
doesn't himself.
houses. He's not in.
Yeah,
there
he's
building
in there
houses
kicking
for the poor.
asses and
He just
traumatizing
fucking hands out
people.
money.
He's not pushing universal health care for the people to not have to
He's
join
still on this
criminal
channel?
organizations.
Can we talk about Britney now? Jesus.
The water of
Speaking
Gotham
of-
City, the water of Gotham City has been dirty for 3 fucking years,
Oh
and
my
Bruce Wayne has done nothing about it.
about it.
And we should stand up as a community.
Turn
and even though he's
this
not
car
an elected official,
around.
we are still mad at this billionaire for not giving us his money that he's earned. All
On
right.
the backs of slave labor.
Oh my
Not
god.
gonna- Does he properly pay his Wayne Tech employees?
Well, I don't think Lucas Fox is complaining.
No.
He's the one guy. He's part of the problem too. Let's not forget.
Oh my god. You're ruining so many things
He's
in such
part
a
of the
short
problem.
amount of time.
Oh, the
Jesus.
billionaire class revealing itself to you is me ruining it for you? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my God. The truth is too much. Let me live in my little safe bubble where I get fucked by Italian plumbers. Oh no.
I love that
I
it's straight up
never
Mario
said-
now.
I never
Yeah,
said
no, it's
plumbers.
Mario now.
No,
Mario.
I
said
never
plumbers?
said
No.
Mario.
You never said plumbers? Oh, so you got something against the working class now?
Oh my
Oh.
You're saying
god.
something against the working class? Oh, God forbid there are blue collar Italian men fucks
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Oh, God forbid. God
Make it
forbid.
end. Take me out of my misery. Oh my god.
Oh my God. Well, Britney's in the news again.
This is Missy's stage. Missy has a lot to say about the Britney situation because
Turn
I
the
don't know
spotlight.
enough. I don't know enough
Well,
what's
it's 'cause
going
you don't
on.
watch the documentary. If you
I
would've
don't
watched
want
the
to be
documentary-
sad.
If you watch the documentary, we would all be on the same page and we would all know the same.
Well, then I would have
information.
nothing to talk about, and then it would be struggle
Yeah.
for me to say anything. Oh
I'm
wait,
the conduit for the audience to learn this information if they are like
Same
me
though.
and not educated. Oh,
Yeah. So
Stephanie
I
too?
will-
Oh, yeah.
No, yeah.
See?
I'm gonna be honest. I never watched the documentary. I have not read the transcript of what's happening. I know something is
Great.
happening with Britney, and it's sad.
so
I know this.
I also have not read.
anyway,
Anyway.
I hate him.
My statement was complete. I finished.
I said what I said. Okay, so brief summary, Steph, is that Britney's been in a conservatorship for 13 years now. It was put in place back in 2008 when she was coming off of the heels of what at the time we named a breakdown, which in retrospect was just postpartum as Britney Spears, because she had 2 kids back to back and then went through a divorce. And at the time, it was a cultural norm for paparazzi to swarm your fucking car because that's how they made a living, and that's a separate rant for Nary later. So
Not for me.
Well, is it better now? Like with paparazzi, have you
yes,
noticed that?
there are rules. California has some laws now that paparazzi are allowed to take pictures of celebrity kids, because that was okay for a while too. And as far
Oh,
as
wow, that's fucked up.
so as far as I know, it's a lot
Is it
tamer
because
now.
of Britney?
Because of Britney and because of other celebrities. I think Kristen Bell of the Forgetting Sarah Marshall and other
That's the one you
successful.
say.
Yeah.
Well, I love her. I love that movie. But I love her and that movie. But
I just think it's interesting that
she
that's
was
the
part
one.
of an she was part of an initiative. Yeah, and a little like indie called Frozen. She was part of an initiative. I feel like maybe 5-6 years ago, maybe longer, where she got a bunch of other parent celebrities to advocate for this law where it would made it illegal for them to sell pictures of their kids. But that's that. So this conservatorship was put into place in 2008. She was not in a good place for sure, and put her father in charge of everything. Now, what the conservatorship does is that it removes all autonomy that Britney has over every aspect of her life. For example, her money, when and if she works. And as we found out today through her statement, whether or not she can have kids, more kids.
That's the part that fucking crushed me. I was like, what? So question.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she has to keep an IUD in, like
She
that
can't get
level of
married.
invasive. Yeah,
Correct. She can't get married, and she wants the IUD removed so she can have more kids, and they won't let her.
And you want me to watch a
And this is what
documentary
autonomy
about
is.
this?
For the viewers, this is what autonomy is.
Oh my god, for the viewers.
Now I know I already knew.
Yeah.
Go ahead and say
That's
for
very
the viewers,
generous of you, Neri.
Yeah.
autonomy, the rights or condition of self-government.
Government, yeah.
So just again, we all knew that. I'm just
just for a while.
everybody here in the panel knew that when Missy said it, but just now the viewers know.
Now I have a question,
Michael.
Has there been at this point of the conservatorship starting? Is there already proof that her dad is a piece of shit in some way?
Yes. So
Okay.
the problem with proving
Even
that
worse.
is, the problem with proving that is that up until I think maybe 6 months ago, she wasn't allowed to have her own representation. The lawyers that represent her are picked by her dad. The amount of money that she's on allegedly she's on a $2,000 a $2,000 a week allowance. If she wants to go on vacation with her boyfriend, she has to get medically cleared by therapists so that she can go to Hawaii with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend cannot drive her in his car. Like it's down, and
she's in an asylum,
and allegedly,
like house arrest, insane asylum.
Allegedly, she has at some point has like ordered, like let's say she orders a bowl of ice cream at a restaurant. Her dad can say, "No, don't bring her ice cream. She's eating carrots," and that's what the fuck. Yes.
Yeah.
It's really fucked up. Look at Mike getting mad.
I'm very mad.
One thing that I learned in the documentary is that usually this type of shit, conservatorships, are for like elderly people who have, for lack of a better or more PC phrase, lost their mind. Like they no longer have their scruples together. They have dementia. They don't know how to, and then so they have to have people take care of them both physically and mentally. So these kinds of crazy things, like Britney not being able to choose her own ice cream flavor, or it being vetoed by the conservatorship, in this case her dad. Imagine this all being for an elderly person, right? Super elderly. She's dementia. She has high diabetes, and she goes, "I want ice cream." You want somebody who loves this person to be like, "No, grandma, you can't have ice cream because you have diabetes and you have that." So all of this is crazy, but within the confines of the 99% of the conservatorships out there in this country are for those types of people. You go, "Oh, that's why this kind of law is allowed." It's not usually for women who are in their mid-20s to early 30s who are millionaires to be able, you know what I mean? This is the weird part.
And to further the argument, which has been made but was made by her directly today in her statement, is that how could the state of California objectively decide that she's incapable to run her life when she has toured and made albums for the last 13 years nonstop and had a very successful Vegas residency, and the whole thing. So the whole Free Britney thing, to my knowledge, started picking up more steam in the past couple of years because she was scheduled to continue her Vegas residency, and then from one second to the next, it got canceled. And then in the same month that it got canceled, she was reportedly, or she confirmed today, sent to a facility for 30 days because they deemed her to be unstable. What she said today was that what happened is that she was directing the show for her second Vegas residency. She was teaching her 16 her dancers the choreography of the show, and somebody on her team said, "Do the move that way," and she said, "No, this is how I want to do it." And that fucking spiraled to such an extent that they sent her ass to a 30-day treatment facility, switched her medicine. She had been on a medicine, she didn't disclose which one, for 5 years that was working fine, and they switched her from that to lithium.
Well,
from one day to the next.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that.
So she had a 20-minute window to basically spew all of, and there's more. There's more of it because I followed that shit. But the whole thesis was, she formally asked the judge, let me do an interview or record a phone call and have it released to the public. And I want the conservatorship ended. I want my dad out for sure. And there was something else that she mentioned, but basically she refuses
Italian dick.
She refuses to perform or produce new music or anything until this shit is settled. And it's the only way it's going to fucking get settled, because this is a $60 million estate. And everybody, here's the fucking kicker, is that she has to pay her dad a salary. She pays all the lawyers that keep this shit in place. She pays the fucking team that watches her. She pays for the nurses that come and fucking feed her, like force feed her, like give her medicine every day and monitor that she fucking, like, these motherfuckers are on her tab. And what she said was, why the fuck am I paying all of your bills? If I'm going to pay all your bills, then let me do something for myself. Is the general consensus.
Well, they're cheating her. The freaking animals in a circus now have more rights than she does. Like, they're treating her like a fucking show pony.
In circus anymore.
Exactly. I mean, they realized that was monstrous. Like,
yeah. Can we talk about how fucked up that is? We don't have animals in a circus anymore.
Okay.
Which side of the argument are you on in that? Because it sounds a little sketch.
Yeah. I mean, I like seeing animals in a circus.
I want to follow you down this road.
Yeah, turn the car around again.
Look, I'm gonna get on my
going down a
political
path
rant.
I cannot follow.
Yeah, you're getting no. I'm gonna. You want to? I get angry at people. No, because it's true. The animals need to be protected. Zoos need to be abolished. I don't understand why zoos are a thing. Someone needs to get that Carol Baskin on the line, because her rehabilitation center, she's breeding tigers. She needs to be.
I should have started drinking.
Now I start sounding like Tiger King. Hey guys, Tiger King was a year ago.
Longer than that, but yeah.
Bit, but yeah,
I give or take, like
6 months.
Missy's not pedantic at all. It was actually 14 months ago, so that's longer than a year. That was a crazy ass.
But the point,
remember how that took the country by, like, nobody was talking about anything else but Tiger King.
Except Tiger King and COVID was it.
That was the honeymoon of COVID.
Yeah. That's when we thought it was going to be like a quick thing and be like, oh, let's have fun with this silly thing for a little bit.
So whenever you talk about the Britney thing and people like focus in on things that Britney was not allowed to do, I like to look at what people single out, because I think it says a lot about them. Like Missy was like, she can't fucking pick her own flavor of ice cream, and Yolanda was like, she wasn't even allowed to pick out her kitchen cabinet color.
Yes. That is also part of it.
Again,
Thank you,
all
Yolanda.
of this is ridiculous. All of it is ridiculous.
It's all
and bad. We're not saying any of this is okay.
Well, I'm projecting my rage on the food picking thing, because fucking leave me alone.
My point is that whenever you hear somebody rage about anything that Britney couldn't do or wasn't allowed to do,
it's usually the thing that would piss them off.
Yeah, it's always something specific that they're projecting. Like Yolanda's like, no, I want to pick my fucking cabinet colors. Meanwhile, Missy's like, the fucking ice cream.
Let me have my flap.
Well, I was really angry about the birth control thing.
Yeah, that's my thing. I was like, it's inside her body.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking crazy.
And I'm like, fucking animals at the circus?
You know why this works? Because we're all on 4 different channels.
Yeah, we're on 4 different channels. As someone who is really taking control over,
you're awful, the worst.
I'm so awful. like this is a woman's actual life, and I'm like, but guys, animals at the circus.
I know. I shouldn't have brought it up. It's just I'm gonna be honest. The entire time you guys were talking about it, that's the thought that was like floating around my head, was just like them like basically whipping her and making her continue performing, and then like putting her in a cage at the end of the day and be like, we're done with you. Like,
Vanessa says that she is a former IUD owner, and she could attest that they suck.
That's not her problem, but yeah, I guess.
It's not. It's up to, look. I'm not talking
IUDs
about
are barbaric, but that's for another episode.
I'm not talking about the process of the form of birth control. I'm talking about.
Oh no, she has to be. She's forced to have.
As someone who's taken over complete control of my reproductive autonomy,
what does that mean, Neri?
What?
I as someone who's taking control over my own reproductive autonomy, to have it taken away from someone else is my hot button thing.
Oh,
Autonomy,
there it is.
Yeah.
the
Uh-huh.
right or condition of self-government.
Thank you.
This episode brought to you by Autonomy.
The letter A. Yeah, but like that's what set me off today when I was like, and this. Meanwhile, I read like 3 sentences and I'm angry and sad, and you want me to watch a whole fucking documentary about this?
You don't need to
Forget
now.
it.
The first half of the documentary, it's like
No.
awesome nostalgia. Like, oh, remember when it's like fucking.
Well, it's
Yeah,
not
that
really
was great.
nostalgia
And
because
then
we
it
call
takes a
out.
fucking-
Well, it's not really nostalgia because we call out how Justin Timberlake fucking
But
ruined.
again, but the nostalgia, like the first half of the documentary, and then it goes into the deep dive into the fucking nosedive of like how
Yeah,
fucked
before
up
she
it
was
is.
she was objectified. Yeah, and they started asking her about her virginity on and her tits. Yeah,
Diane
you're right.
Sawyer.
It was a
Diane
habit.
Sawyer, man. Diane Sawyer literally was like, so Justin says you fucked. Have you fucked?
It's like, she's like,
Dude,
so
I was like, that's Diane Sawyer. She went to journalism school. Like, I was like, God.
Yeah.
so give me a list. Who's thrown it in? All right,
Yeah.
here's
like,
Italians,
What's
yay
wrong?
or nay?
yeah.
she's like, Diane Sawyer, like a reputable journalist. This isn't Mickey Bing over here at fucking,
Yeah.
Univision. This is like
Mhm.
top
No, it's like
notch-
Barbara Walters like cornering Ricky Martin and asking him to tell her like, "Oh, set the record straight. Are you straight or gay?" Like it was that time was a wild fucking time, and it was really fucked up. Like
the sheer
But
audacity.
he said that's when he came out, correct?
No,
No.
He didn't
Oh.
answer.
He wouldn't confirm or deny his sexuality, and she fucking like was
Cornered him.
forcing his hand, and he was like, "No, I'm not gonna do it." And then he quit music for 5 years, so it worked out, I guess.
But that's the
So,
thing is like
Thanks,
when you
Barbara
think
Walters. You fucking cost us 5 years of Ricky Martin music.
Oh
the
I hope you're
yeah,
happy. I hope
you don't want
me.
you didn't want to shake your bonbon with Ricky Martin in 2003, 2004. That
Fuck
would have
yeah.
helped.
Yeah,
Greg.
again, I'm with you. I'm fucking mad at Barbara Walters. Are you not fucking hearing me? I'm mad at Barbara Walters for costing us 5 years of Ricky Martin music.
You're,
Fuck
you're
her.
mad about animals not being in circuses either. You know what I mean? So
Can we
you
talk
know.
about that for a minute, bro?
No.
there's actually a German circus that what
Oh,
they've
God.
done is they do digital mapping and projection, almost like holograms of the fucking animals, so you could still get the animal experience without treating animals cruelly. And I think that's cool. That's nice. Go.
Do the holograms
science.
whip,
It's
do the
fun.
holograms whip the animals, or is there somebody whipping the hologram? Because
There's
Well,
no
Nary
trauma,
said, because I
Nary
don't
doesn't
want
want
it. I
There
don't
needs-
want it.
there
Yeah.
needs to be an authenticity to this whole situation.
You
If
can
you just
whip.
have the animals doing nice shit on their own, like that's not the way it works. You gotta
I-
fucking hit them.
I weep for your Tamagotchis. I weep. I weep for how poorly you treated your digital animals. Your
Well,
Nintendo
what?
dogs.
Shit got done. Shit got done. is all I got to say. Tamagotchis got done, man.
You had a special one programmed just so you could beat it. You just wanted like a custom Tamagotchi.
Didn't we
Where's
all?
the whipping button?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
we didn't all. No.
To be fair,
I never had a single Tamagotchi. I wish I would have, but at the same time, I'm glad I never did. I'm like,
Yeah.
that way only lies sadness
Yeah.
for a child with ADD.
To be to
So many dead Tamagotchis.
to come back to all of this stuff. Britney
animals in
Spears
circus.
is a Tamagotchi of the like at a certain point she's like encased in in like this kind of routine that is formulated for her.
No, it's
Right?
true. It's
kind
true.
of true.
It's
Metaphorically
1,000% true.
speaking.
And actually, it's funny because in 2008, on the heels of like the PR cleanup of her rough couple of years, MTV had a documentary, like, you know, with her comeback called For the Record. And there's a moment in that documentary that she fucking breaks down and she's like, "This is awful. Every day's the same. I can't do anything. If I wasn't under the control of doctors and lawyers, I would feel so much better about my life." And that was fucking 13 years ago. Do you know what I mean? So like, it's just, it's time. And the great thing about this is, and this is something that I was very affirming for me as a fan of Britney for so many for like decades now, is that on her Instagram, I always notice her very nervous, very like performative, for lack of a better word, which she is. She's a performer. But there was something inauthentic about what she's trying to portray on her social media, and the difference in how she presented herself when she was in this hearing. That was a bad bitch. That was somebody that was fully in her fucking brain, fully aware of what she wanted, how she wanted things to go,
I
and
think
what
it's
she
a
was
brilliant
asking.
strategy. I think it was a brilliant strategy because I think if she's portraying herself in a certain way on her social media, I think the lawyers against her would be like, well, she's the fucking ditzy broad. And
Right.
she's not.
She's
And
not.
then the
She's
chick that showed up today in court, the fucking lawyers
was
were
a
like,
bad bitch.
the
And she
lawyers were like, what happened to the ditzy chick?
Yeah, you can't say
Right.
that person's not
you can't.
self-possessed.
She's
Yeah.
100. And then she made the points. She made the point about the IUD. She made the point about the fact that she's had tours, she's had albums, she's had residency, she's done all of these. She's made a lot of money for all the motherfuckers that are keeping her in this position where she has to get medically cleared to go on vacation. I'm Britney Spears. Like,
can't hold me down.
so hopefully this is a turning point in her case. Hopefully we see her get some kind of something out of this. At the very least, her father removed as the head of conservatorship. At the best, obviously, that the shit's fucking over for her, and she has some kind of control over her career, over her body, like literally her body. And there's so many other aspects of this, like her relationship with her kids. Her dad actually, her I think it was her oldest, filed a report with the cops because her dad / his grandfather fucking broke through a door because he was in a fit of rage and was trying to like spank him or whatever. And the kid was like 14, 15. So now Kevin Federline, of all fucking people in this scenario, has physical custody of these kids because just to keep them away from her dad. Not even her dad.
Kevin Federline. Talk about a guy who fucked himself into the best like life possible.
He's a fertile motherfucker. Speaking of which,
remember when?
Speaking of fertile,
Nick Cannon.
Oh yeah, did you guys? I posted that. That
was earlier. A good Father's Day post, by the way.
Yeah. Apparently,
Happy
Nick
Father's
Cannon's
Day,
just rocketing semen into women at astounding rates. Like he's had 7 kids in the past 6 months or some shit like that, but like on purpose. Like, first of all,
so these weren't slip ups. These were all
they were intentional insertions of the peen.
First of all, this is my
trip. I'm like, I came inside.
I meant like
I came by accident.
It was like a crikey, and then it wasn't like that type of shit. Like it wasn't.
Oh, that was a whole other level. I don't like it.
What was that accent? What couldn't I don't?
It was an Italian accent because I couldn't shake it because of the whole.
But then you said crikey.
I said crikey. Yeah, that's where it's the mixing of the. You don't like mixing of cultures, Missy? You got something wrong with mixing of cultures? I'm sorry. People are just supposed to speak to their own time.
Here. You know, I was actually. It's been days that I've been looking forward to record. I regret everything.
Yeah. So does Mariah Carey apparently, because apparently after Mariah Carey, Nick Cannon was like, I'm gonna bang, I want to have as many kids. Like the running joke I have going is that he's trying to build his own drum line, because like he's just said that he's going around and here's the thing.
I think he's hoping to make somebody. I think he's hoping that one of his seeds come out to be funny. Because I think he really wants to.
Stop saying seeds, motherfucker! God.
The fruit of his loins is going to be funny. My thing is,
I'm going to explain the context of that cringe later.
It's first of all, his situation right now is my living nightmare. Right? Like it's just, it's like a fucking tragedy, and I can't like it took me a while. I'm like, what? Like at every sentence coming out of me from that article was like another dagger into my testicles. And
like you thought, like, oh my god, poor Nick Cannon, and then you found out, I
was like, what? So what is happening? And then, but apparent. So here's the thing: he's a wealthy man. Like, there's no denying that he makes Fox money. He makes NBC. He was on fucking America's Got Talent.
He's got child support from Mariah.
Can I just tell you that that's a hell of a talent? He should go on that show again as a contestant and be like, I made fucking 7 babies in 6 months, motherfucker. You, like 3 different.
Doesn't DMX RIP have?
No, that's ODB. You're talking about Old Dirty Bastard. He has 12 kids. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of kids. But also, like the point of the
was he ODB before that happened, or was that why his name?
Yes.
Old Dirty Bastard?
Yes, to both questions.
Yes.
the point of like getting all of these women pregnant, whatever, it's like the story came out on Father's Day, and I was just like, this needs to be scrubbed from my brain. I can't live knowing.
So instead, you shared it.
you
Yeah.
shared it to everyone.
I need
It
to.
needs to be
It's
scrubbed
like
from my brain, so I need to put it on my digital footprint here.
I need
social
other people to.
media.
It's like an earworm song. It's like when you get a song stuck in your head, you have to pass it along to somebody else, and then once you hear them singing it, you're like, "I'm free," like that kind of thing. So when I shared it, it was like, other people need to suffer with this information. And then apparently it's a thing, because I don't know if he's got like deadbeat dad stuff where he's got like not paying money or something like that. Is that a situation?
I don't know that he would have to pay Mariah just
Yeah,
in terms of how much the inequity in
I don't believe that he.
estates.
I believe that he gets money from Mariah.
I think
Right.
he gets money for
Yeah.
alimony.
Yeah, I think he
So-
gets. Yeah, go ahead, King.
Yeah.
I
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
But I just
he gets money.
I just love that, like,
but Britney wants kids, and that's some
yeah.
Gilead shit. That's some Gilead shit, by the way.
what's
Not to
Gilead?
None of us gonna pretend we know what you mean.
Yeah,
No,
I'm not-
wait. We're looking this up.
you guys don't know what Gilead is? You guys don't watch Handmaid's Tale and get pissed off all the time?
I
No, because I specifically don't watch Handmaid's Tale because I need to control my blood pressure.
Oh,
I
then
don't
this
watch
is
it
not the
because it
show
makes
for
me
you.
sad.
No, this this season is good because it turns the corner. But I don't recommend. It's not a rom com. I will say that much.
I watch.
look,
I watch it as a
people have
promise.
described
Like, I
to
hope
me-
Shut the fuck up, Neri. You're gonna die. You're
I-
gonna
I watch
fucking.
Handmaid's Tale as like a fantasy of like how most people watch like I Am Robot or something. I'm like, oh, one day.
I Am
Not
Robot. You
my
just
fault.
old man a title of a movie so hard. Like you combine
Isn't
I
it
Am Legend
iRobot?
and iRobot together. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna
For
go watch.
shame. Out of all people, Neri. Jeez.
Yeah.
Boo.
I Am Robot. I stick by that.
I am Groot.
I am
I'll
that.
be right back.
Okay, commercial break.
Good.
If only we had sponsors.
Well, make sure to subscribe to our Patreon because we do have a Patreon page where we have after show conversations. If you are a professor, make sure you go to patreon.com/WUBROPOD. That's WuBro Pod, which happens to be the same as our Cash App. If you want to donate to the show, it's Cash App $WUBROPOD, and our Patreon page is up there. We have a subscriber right now. We haven't publicly put this out as far as like I haven't put it on my Instagram or anything. I haven't promoted the thing because I want to kind of make sure we have enough
Content for it.
for you. But yeah, Izu is the first one to have donated. And is Izu a rookie? And I get them confused because they are the two of our like day one listeners. So I apologize, but I'm pretty sure I think it was Izu. Anyways, with that said, thank you very much for doing that. But I wanted to get to one more topic before we get to the Am I the Asshole for the week. And
We have one?
yes. Well, I'm saying yes because as my wife is listening to this, she'll get one. This is the time.
We're doing Am I the Asshole?
No,
Not yet.
Not yet.
We're
Right,
waiting
we're going
on.
over.
We're waiting
I
on-
have one that I found that I would like.
Sure, but give me a minute. I'll get there.
Community.
There is a new movie. The new Pixar movie came out this week. It's available on Disney Plus free of charge.
I loved it.
Did you watch Luca?
I have not seen it.
great.
I think this is where Missy wants the Italian man thing because
No,
Luca,
I've been fantasizing about Italians for a while.
even after Bruschetta, I thought that would turn you off. I gotta be honest with you. I thought
That's
that was
just one Italian, not all Italians.
that's really all Italians, man.
So just
Yolanda
as for
knows Mike washed his hands. I doubt it. We're
I'm
not
in
in
my
the
own
room-
house.
We're not in no room with him, so I don't give a shit if he washes his hands.
wash your
So the movie Luca, it's the new Pixar movie. I
So
find
cool.
fantastic, and I also find it was one of the few movies, few Pixar movies. There's another one I could think of, but there's one of very few Pixar movies that nobody died. and I found
My
that.
God,
really
I was
weird.
not in
Spoiler
the mood.
alert!
Yeah,
I
Damn,
was
but
not in
very
the
weird.
mood for
I
that.
watch Pixar movies to see death and destruction
It
and
seems
have
like
You
my heart
traumatized?
ripped
I mean,
from my
every fucking
chest.
Pixar
Mike,
movie.
can you send me your therapist's phone number? I want to talk to him or her for a minute. Jesus.
So
I'm in between therapists right now, so
Oh shit, that got real.
There you go.
so
no.
Luca is a movie about mer people, for the lack of a better word. They're not exactly mermen, but there's something
They call
them
themselves sea monsters.
Well, the humans call them sea monsters.
Yeah.
And what happens is when they go on land, they change to a human appearance.
Mhm.
There has been my wife is part of a Disney shaming group where anything that happens with Disney or anything that anybody who comments something about a Disney movie or a theme park and they want to shame them, they take a screenshot and they go back to this shaming group and they go, "Can you believe this motherfucker is complaining about the fucking gay pride at Epcot or whatever it may be." She says Disney shit. My wife says Disney shaming groups are the best. She's in multiple.
Wait,
I
so
don't know. I
so
don't know how
question.
I feel about that.
Vanessa
we
likes the Jerry
shaming-
Springer side of the internet.
So
She
Yeah.
really
Or
does.
here's the
Are we
thing.
sh-
They,
are we-
they
are they
usually shame. The shaming is about shaming people who basically Karens who have a problem with something
Got
that
it.
Disney did.
Okay.
Oh,
So
right.
so then
So it's not a group of Karens shaming.
Michael,
Shaming.
I see my
I
task.
gotcha.
so to give an example, right? She says, but thanks for sharing. By no means, somebody posted this. By no means am I here to shame you for what your kids are watching, which
Red
only
flag.
means I'm shaming you for what
Yeah.
your kids are watching.
I don't mean
Yeah.
to be racist, but racist shit.
I don't want to be pedantic, but
But
I'm
I'm here
here.
to gently encourage you to please read between the lines, especially with Disney. A little research never hurt. Every movie that had come out in the past year has common theme, demonism and revelation.
I really,
Oh, you're
I can't.
crazy.
I
Okay,
want off
okay,
this
okay.
planet.
Wait,
No, I
They are
have something to say after this.
they are programming our children to accept Antichrist and NWO. Which again,
World.
if you're talking about the Hulk Hogan NWO,
Yeah.
I encourage that as well. You should definitely get into Hogan's NWO run.
I don't think that's the one.
We saw this clearly with Onward and Trolls, which first of
Trolls
all,
Disney?
Trolls isn't even a fucking Disney
It's
movie.
DreamWorks, you dumb cunt.
Stupid.
Whoa, whoa.
That was
I've
the
been
part
watching-
to get-
I've
that's
been
the
watching-
part you got offended
I've-
by.
Yeah, no, I've been watching a lot of Jim Jeffries. My bad. Go ahead.
This is Disney's newest creation, Luca. Luca means light bearer, as does Lucifer. Lucifer comes as an angel of light. Also, Luca happens to be a super duper popular Italian name, which is where this movie takes place. Whatever. This movie is about a sea monster who comes out of the sea and lives a life of a human, deceiving his friends. What does this sound like? A cartoon? Probably. The beast that comes out from the sea, found in Revelation, maybe? Okay. Their agenda is clear to see with eyes who desire the truth. I
my
plead with
God, I
you
wanna
to
vomit.
educate your children with biblical truth. Oxymoron, that's hilarious. On the I'm sorry,
On the end times.
because Disney wants it to look cute and desirable. Satan is attempting to deliver deception to the most innocent of us all, the children. Please take action and protect your kids. With a little heart emoji, which is important, I think, in this. It's never, quote, just a movie, not with this theme.
So this is
and
what
then the comments said, not so that was it, I guess.
not today, Satan.
Yeah, not today, Satan.
Here's my thing about whenever religious nuts try to like pick on things. It reminds me of like beef in fan fiction fandoms because it's all fake. None of it's real.
Well, one of the
You
comments,
just think Star Trek is better than Star Wars. That's it.
one of the comments.
That's it. You're like,
One of
oh
the
well, I
comments-
read a what?
Wait. One of the comments was fantastic. I don't have it up, but my wife was reading it to me, and she said that the comment said, Christian people getting mad at shit that they made up.
Yes, it's 100% true. Because first of all, here's where I'm gonna get really pedantic about this. All of the devil and the Lucifer shit and the fallen angels and all of that stuff is not from the Bible. It's from
100%.
It's from Paradise Lost and Dante's Inferno and all these other fan fiction writers. They're fucking fan fiction writers. Someone creates an original work, and then a bunch of people. The culture now becomes the Star Wars extended universe novels. This is just people who are really into Admiral Thrawn. Like that's it. They're really into Darth Bane. That's what they are. And then
like, they'll sit there and ask you if you've read the Bible, but you'll sit there and be like, even I know that's not actually part of the Bible.
Yeah. And then they'll that's why whenever like a religious person
Please, people, biblical truth, educate yourself on biblical truth. I'm like, do you like? And here's the thing. I'm a believer, right? Legitimately, I believe in Christ. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not saying this sarcastically.
No,
I'm so sorry if it sounds sarcastic. That was the Homer Simpson thing where he was saying something.
Well, excuse me.
No, Homer Simpson at one point was like, "Oh, I'm so happy that you've helped me out," and they're like, "What?" And he's like, "No, really, I'm really happy. I'm sorry if this sounds sarcastic." So I'm a believer. I believe in Christ, legitimately, right? Here's the thing: when you're talking about the Bible, yes, do I believe in the Bible? Sure. Do I believe the Bible is parables? That's a different story. Now, Bible was written by man. Like nowhere in the Bible does it says that this was written by God himself, right? It's written by man. So if you're seeking, quote, biblical truth, that fucking statement made me laugh out loud because I was like, but it was written by a dude. Have you ever played telephone? Have you ever played telephone? Like, the shit never comes around. Like the message never gets through. Like I can't tell my fucking daughter to tell my wife something that's across the fucking house and that we don't live in a big house without it getting fucked up. Like you don't believe that God said something and then the fucking guy writing it goes, well, I think what he meant was.
I'm sure he didn't mean women. So I'm going to
like obviously it was just meant fuck the woman. Don't
love
go down
your
on
neighbor
them.
as yourself, except for women who are property, and you can hit them with sticks and beat your slave.
Unless they wear cotton. If they wear cotton, fuck them. I don't like.
They're wearing cotton and leather together. Kill it with big rocks. You know, like the people who shout out about this stuff. They're looking. They're usually the ones that are not. They'll point to some sort of like factual thing, like this is the authority, but they'll never have actually like read the authority, like with Trump people and the Constitution. Like they're just gonna point out, that's what this says, and then they're basically
my favorite is when they go,
bluff.
The Constitution protects my right to own guns. It's like that's actually not the Constitution.
That's not the Constitution. Yeah, it's absolutely not.
Read the Constitution.
Right.
I mean, if you just change your statement to the Bill of Rights, everybody's cool. But
right, just say Bill of Rights,
right.
But they don't.
Nope.
So
Constitution does it, bro.
Like, the founding fathers believed, in Jesus. Well, I mean, the point of it all is it's basically like these people who will like talk the loudest about the fucking Lucifer and the revelation and all this stuff. That's just people repeating shit they heard from other things that it gets diluted, and it's basically like treating fan fiction as canon.
Playing telephone. You're playing telephone and you lose the fucking no. This is so.
Dude, even jokes get lost in translation.
But I
like you can't go from one language to the other.
I like the fact that they go Luca means light bearer, and you're like, oh, God forbid somebody's carrying light. Yeah. Wouldn't it be worse if like Luca meant like if they chose a name that meant dark bearer, like darkness bearer, like shit, that's clearly the devil,
death bringer.
Yeah, death bringer.
Yeah,
like brimstone breath. that name means brimstone breath. You don't fucking get it. You don't understand the read between the lines. So not even a name that literally means light bearer is safe. Like I'm sure the people are like, what name is all right?
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's the whole thing. There's like a whole translation. There's a million translation issues in the Bible. One of them is that whole thing about Lucifer. Lucifer with a capital L is what it is now. It was not originally Lucifer. It Lucifer with or the I don't know what the original word was. Was not a name. It was a title. So they were using the light bringer or the people who bring light or whatever. Has nothing to do. It's the one who takes the light away from you when you are not in the light of God. Like hell is not in the Bible. Hell is not in the Bible.
So
the devil's none of that.
My question to you: what if the person writing the Bible just forgot the LOLs?
Right.
They just forgot
They
the
forgot the
LOLs.
wink emojis.
The wink emojis, the LOLs. And people are like, "Ah, man, this like
Missy,
where
you can't
somebody else-
hide the laugh.
because when somebody
the
right when
cringe.
somebody's reading it, they know where the LOLs go, and
This
they go,
episode has been very chaotic.
right, and then
Yeah.
and then they pass that scripture on to somebody else, and they're like, "Oh, I don't remember. There's no LOL here, so I'm not gonna say an LOL. I'm not gonna
I
insert."
would just like to remind everyone we started off talking about Batman going down on someone and we ended up with like Christian
With my baby.
theology.
I was carrying my baby while we were talking about Batman going down on somebody, and now we're talking about the Bible not including LOLs, and I think it's a little shady that it's not including LOLs.
Well, we're talking about this Luca movie, right? But the thing is that if you want to
Which
go
is a
figure-
phenomenal movie, by the way. I don't want
It's
to
such a
get
cute
lost.
movie.
I don't want to get lost in translation. It's really and I'm not that dude that says like every Disney movie is the greatest. I'm like Raya, not.
I liked Raya.
It was all
fun.
right. It was all
It was
right.
it was a fun movie.
What happens was there was no risk because nobody died, and even when the bad dragons, when the smoke came and turned them into stone, and like but they're just gonna get turned back into humans. I don't get what the fuck is what. There's no.
What are you talking about? Everyone was stuck as stone. They're
Yes.
they're dead.
No, but they came back. Everybody came back. There was no.
Oh, you wanted fanat like everyone who like was lost to be lost forever.
It gives you every Disney movie gives you that. Every Disney movie gives you that because they know that there's something to risk. That's it.
Every movie gives you a death or two. They don't say, "Hey, half the world. Hey, let's look at all this death."
No,
they're not going to.
It's not like we're living in a pandemic or anything.
Yeah, they don't want to. You don't think
Vanessa
Disney's
says,
going to distract you from that?
Won't somebody please think of the children?
Think of the children.
My friend Olivia says, "What is wrong with this person? It's a kids movie." No, my friend Olivia. No,
it is a message from hell.
It is not quote a kids movie. It was actually.
This is one of those like you got to look deeper, man. You don't understand. The messages in the kids movies. You don't understand.
You got to read between the lines.
You got to read between the lines.
I honestly thought that I thought this person was going to go off on the fact that it was the gay agenda. Like I thought that they were going to go off on the whole gay agenda thing. Like that's what I thought this was going to be.
Are they
about.
saying that the little boys are gay?
That was Frozen.
No. Luca as well has this whole kind of a few people like kind of read it as a codified, like the little kids are going through their first like crushes and it's this it kind of
positive type of shit. I could see that.
Yeah, like you could totally see that when I was watching it, I'm like, yeah,
that's less of a reach than this light bearer bullshit that she got.
But that's what that's what I thought she was gonna be pissed off at the fact that like Disney's trying to push the normalization of this kind of thing.
Wouldn't it be great if she wasn't in the comments and she was like, "Oh no, fucking gay kids, bring it on. That's awesome," but not
the name,
not the light bearers.
I find it very interesting that Christians are always these loud ass Christians, not those of us that struggle. They're always very concerned and outraged on behalf of children. But there's a lot of stuff that goes on in churches that I never see any outrage from the Christians themselves, which is how I think is a great way to solve those or tackle those issues. So
like when Bill Burr went on that morning show and they were saying that, oh, you said some hard things about the church. Do you think you went too far? And he goes, don't you think the Catholic Church went too far? And then there was like literally laughs from behind the cameras. Like you can hear people like
losing their jobs.
Basically like what are you talking about?
What world are we living in? What world are we living in?
Do we not remember the Inquisition?
What world are we living in that the person commenting on the evil, disgusting act is getting more fucking flack?
Yeah,
because he's commenting on the evil, disgusting act than the people doing the evil, disgusting act.
And it's not just the Catholic Church, man. The church I went to as a kid had the youth pastors are always trying to fuck these girls.
Isn't there an NFL player that just busted his wife smashing their pastor?
Yeah.
It was an NFL. It was baseball. I think it was MLB.
Was it?
Was it NFL or was it baseball? I thought it was baseball.
I had a great NFL story about the guy that came out, the first active NFL player, Raiders defensive line, Carl Nasbitt becomes the first active NFL player to announce that he's gay. He said, "What's up, people?" on Instagram. I just wanted to take a quick moment and tell you that I'm gay. I've been meaning to do this for a while now, but I finally feel comfortable getting it off my chest. Bet it is
you.
on your chest.
I remember if you watch the video, he does
Wait,
say it.
real quick. This was my favorite follow-up. 2 days later, Naseeb's jersey becomes the top seller. His jersey has become the top selling item across NFL since the Raiders defensive end came out on Monday, according to Fanatics, which is
Cool. You know someone's rocking that shit during Pride. You know during Pride, some people are walking.
Well, there's a lot of it's been a lot of support has been coming out, but the video, if you watch the video, he really does just say it like that. He's like, "Hey y'all, I just want to take a minute to say I'm gay." And that's it. And then he's just like that was it. Like it was just like him.
It's like his reminder on his phone reminded him.
Yeah.
You're gonna come out
like,
today.
Pick up, bro. I'm gay.
I scheduled this and I completely spaced. I got 5 minutes. I'm gay. Thank you all. Bye. Like that's it. Like, because it did also like reinforce the stereo. Like it wasn't very tropey of like someone making it a big deal. He's like, yeah, I'm gay. Bye. Like it was very refreshing to just see that. That's just the way I am.
I mean, who would do such a thing? Just casually come out and not make it a big deal to their friends.
No, but he did it on Instagram.
Flashback to Stephanie Mayer Sr. So I'm not straight. We're gonna go ahead and continue this conversation.
And we're like, okay, cool. And then 5 minutes. Wait, what? By the way, it was a baseball player and former Cubs star Ben Zobrist accuses pastor of affair with his wife, defrauding the charity. And here's the thing: the pastor was in charge of their marriage therapy.
Whoa. Yeah.
I was watching this like one creator, like this girl called
where's that Disney lady now, man? Go attack MLB.
Go attack the MLB. Go attack the fucking priest.
The priest. I'm sorry.
The priest. What? And hey, not for nothing, but that priest got game, right? Like she's married to a fucking.
I'm gonna Google an image.
I think apparently it's common. Like apparently this shit happens.
She's married to a professional athlete, and this fucking priest was like,
wait, but the player, he filed a civil. This is great. Wait,
I'm sure they're not robbing that guy for a couple $100 though. You know what I mean? Like they're taking a shit ton of money from his organization too. That's what I read, but whatever. The point being is that like
he filed a civil complaint. The baseball player.
That's so burst. Yeah. Shout out to, I feel bad for the guy that came out on TikTok this week. We're gonna get to this one last story and we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna talk about the am I the asshole? But one quick story. There was a guy who on TikTok announced that he just found out that his son is actually his uncle.
Yep.
And let me say that again.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. What?
Found out that his young son. He just found out that his young son is actually his uncle.
Because his daddy.
And the way that happened. Nope. The way that happened was him and his girl were staying at his grandfather's house.
Yeah,
I was the grandfather fucked his girl and fucked his girl well, so that she had a baby, and then she pawned it off as his baby. And the only reason, and this is all via TikTok, so people kept asking questions or whatever, and apparently he found out about it because the grandfather was like texting her while she was in the shower, and the notifications just kept going off. Bah, 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 bah.
Yeah, that's an easy way to get busted. Not that I know.
He picks up the phones. Yeah, put it on silent, asshole. So he picks up the phone and he reads through all these messages, and it was very explicit text between both of them. So it was consensual. It wasn't like a granddad took advantage of it, so this is a thing. So yeah, that.
And that grandfather was Nick Cannon. One more for the drum line. Boom. I will say this. I love Drumline. I'm not gonna.
Oh, it's a good movie.
I'm not gonna fuck around and say I don't love Drumline. I love Drumline.
That's a good. I like Drumline too. I like Drumline. It's not funny because Nick Cannon's not funny, but yeah, it's it's a good movie. I like that movie a lot.
I love it. I love marching bands. It opened my eyes to the historically black college and universities marching band battles. And it opened up a whole new world of music. It's amazing.
I had a friend that was very into competitive marching band things, like 3 or 4 years before that movie came out. So I didn't know about the HBCU portion of it, but I knew that she was like, no, these are televised. They're like there's like, it's a big deal if you're part of a good marching band, there's scholarships and shit. I was like, what the fuck? I like, blew my mind. All right, so
I have one, and it's not
and
crazy.
the priest is the asshole. Love my friend Olivia. Vanessa says that the creator of Luca has said that it's not a coming out story at all, that it's just about friendship, but a lot of people have been interpreting it as such, and I love it. I agree.
It's one of those things where people are like, I understand what you're saying, I will ignore it.
I felt the same way when I was watching it. I turned over to Vanessa and I was like, "Is this a gay thing? Is this a gay?" And she was like, "No." And I was like, "Okay."
It feels like it.
It felt like it. A moment.
It feels like
I do.
Aren't they brothers?
No.
Oh, I thought they
and
were
even
brothers.
so, what are you trying to say?
No, they're not brothers. They're just little boys
No.
who meet each other and become like really, like they're just really tight and like.
And one of them,
honestly, it's just the allegory of like having to be concealed with who you are, and then little by little choose who.
I have
sees
a little
outside
bit
of
of an
you.
issue. I will say that, like, look, everyone, I'm fully supportive of all these of representation and all that stuff. One thing that does bother me though is that there's so much media out there where guys can't just be friends anymore. Like there's a lot of speculation in a lot of fan communities of stuff that I like where
Well,
like
people are just starved for representation.
exactly.
Though,
No, I get it.
I
get it. But it's hard. It's like I feel it's almost a little detrimental because then there will be men who on the like used to be called like a gay or whatever because I got called gay because I had long eyelashes. Like there was a real like push, like you couldn't do anything.
Yeah, me and Mike got called gay because we were holding hands. We were walking down Brooklyn holding hands, and all of a sudden, that's not fucking allowed. Like all of a sudden, that's not cool.
Look, I understand. Like
we were interlocking arms, like husband and wife.
No, but then what ends up happening is that there's like a pendulum swing where like just like when Superbad came out, right? Like Superbad showed like these guys being horrible people to like trying to get laid and all that stuff. But they were like friends with each other, and it was about like guys being friends. And since then, like I've noticed there's more push for like I hug Nary. I tell my friends I love them, like guy friends. Like I'm very expressive, right, about with my guy friends. And then there's lately I've noticed that like in certain things they want to see it so much that they will then create these ships, they'll ship these two people. And then it's like, oh, there's no gray area where guys can just express emotion to each other. And then someone will say, oh, they're gay. And then it's like granted, kind of the reverse.
But fanfic's always going to do that. Like fanfic's done that since day dot. Like they find two people that they like and they're like, now kiss. Like that's just since Kirk and Spock. Like it's just kind of the way it is. Part of it just comes from lack of like a lot of it does come from lack of representation and like just wanting to see some stories be told. If you watch Luca, you'll understand that it's not just these two boys are close. There's a lot of other levels. You understand like okay, I see why there's all these other things, right?
And I agree with what she said and what Stephanie saying. I also would add that while even I was like, oh, is this a gay thing? I was asking Vanessa and she was like, no. And I will say that as the story progressed, you saw less. It felt like less and less of a coming out thing and more of a
found family kind of thing.
I guess
found family thing.
What I'm thinking of,
I was okay with it all the way through anyway.
Yeah, I'm actually like, I'm not saying I'm not okay with it. I'm just saying that it's an interesting thing that like, if you see it, if it gets like forced in your face in another way, which it's too specific, but Steph will know what I'm talking about. In Critical Role, there's a show where like it's a D&D show where there are these characters going around, and then they ship these two male characters on the show, Ford and Caleb, and there was zero like in the
they don't have any.
There was zero connection with them in the story, and then because it's happening live, like it's a current thing, it's every week there's some sort of new part of the story told. The shippers, the ones who want the story to unfold in the way that they see it in their head, were getting like infuriated at the idea that they weren't going to end up together and all this stuff. And even whenever they would interact with each other, you would see like the comment sections and the different boards go crazy because they're like, oh, is this when we finally get to it? Then they're gonna fuck, like. And I'm in my mind, I'm like, or they could like let them choose that in the story if they choose to go that direction. But like it was very like any disagreement from that would get like backlash. Well, where it's like, or they could just be friends,
Didn't Anthony Mackie just get in some like lukewarm Yeah.
Yeah.
He got in trouble because people are against a Sam and Bucky romance. And like that, just let bros be bros. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be that. Plus, Bucky's
honestly,
way into Sam's sister, so shut up, people.
Right.
Yeah,
Like, there
look,
was
honestly, I don't
no-
mind Bye Bucky. Like I don't mind the idea of Bye Bucky because I'm like the man's lived a long time.
But
Why
what-
not? He's
but what
very
I'm-
attractive. If
but
you
no,
want
I'm
all
talking
kinds,
about
but
Sam.
nothing in the story was representative of that. Nothing like that's totally externally put on there because they're just like clearly he dates the Japanese girl. He's dating women in the first Avengers.
yeah, but don't forget
Like-
a lot of this comes from fans who also saw a lot of the bond between Steve and Bucky, and were transferring that over.
Right, but that's not a romantic relationship either. They're like brothers. They were to the end of the line.
Platonic
Like they're-
relationships are like should be normalized a lot more than. Well, they're
They
not
should definitely have
normalized.
more.
Yeah,
But the thing is, they
platonic
should have
men and
relationships
women.
between men and women too.
But platonic
pla-
relationships would have, I think, more. I think more people would be behind just these beauty of these platonic bromances and stuff like that if they also got to have more of the just pure representation, pure like people
Absolutely.
just being able to be in relationships as
Yes.
well. Like that section is so starved that they're trying to find something in any place, and I kind of get it. Like I get the whole because I watched this one like Supernatural. There was a couple in there that if I would have when I had slipped out of the
did
show,
you say,
them,
look, there it is.
them. Dean
This
Cass
mother-
forever, bro. If I would have found out that this couple actually, and they're not a couple, they're not whatever, but
couple of
story wise, it
bros.
would have made for a really good story. It would have made the potential of it is what people get starved for.
right.
Of
But
like
I'm-
what kind of story it could be,
Yeah, but I think what
and how
Mike
much
is-
stronger
I
it
think what
could
Mike
be if
is-
they had
I
this
think
foundation.
what Mike is saying is like, while it's cool to have representation and it's understandable that people are starved for representation, let's not lose sight of all representation. And it's possible that dudes are just friends.
Like even
And
two
that-
gay
No, but
characters,
like,
two
but-
gay male characters don't have to be fucking. Like they could be friends too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think friendship has kind of.
like
I'm just
you and
saying.
Mary.
Yeah.
There's
like,
a scene.
I mean,
there's
we've
a scene
fucked in the past. That's
there-
in
yeah.
we're not
Oh, You
actively.
suck
You
one
fucked-
dick
I
22 times. All of a sudden, you're gonna get labeled.
I thought you
Jesus.
guys made love. Jeez.
So
No,
there
no,
was
no.
a
I
scene.
fucked
There
it.
was
No,
a scene in. There was a scene in Sex and the City. To Mike's point, there was a scene in Sex and the City in the show, that she tried to hook up her gay friend with another gay friend, and she goes, "Oh, I hate when they do this. She just tried to hook us up because we're the only two gay people she knows."
Yeah.
And it was that kind of thing. It's like, why can't two gay characters just be friends and not have to fuck, not have to be in a relationship?
Well,
And I
because in
see- I
reality,
see
it's
the
plenty
same-
like that. There's plenty of people who are just friends with each other.
Correct. And I feel the same way. Old school logic, old school sitcom and TV logic is like, there's a black character. If they're gonna start dating, they're gonna start dating a black character that we may introduce later. And it's like, what? Like that's Lisa Turtle didn't date white guys. She dated black people, black guys, and it was
She
like
did kiss Zach once.
she did kiss Zach once,
Shit.
and even Screech,
right.
who killed somebody, got some. So I mean, here and there. But yeah, I
Rest
think
in
it's
peace,
like
Dustin Diamond.
representation of it. Vanessa brought up a very good point. She said there's a scene in
Mhm.
Luca where his mom was worried about him not being accepted for who he is, a sea monster. And his grandmother says that he found people who accepted him, and he would be able to tell who will accept him and not. It was
Yeah.
a very touching scene. It was a very great scene. But I agree with that. All right, let's
Yeah.
go. Am I the asshole? We're running late. Am I the
Okay.
asshole? Come on.
I have this. Am I the asshole for telling my daughter that I won't deny her younger brother an opportunity in the name of fairness? 8th graders at my children's middle school have the opportunity to go on a class trip to Disney World during spring break. I feel like we've all shared this experience. My older son went on this trip in 2018 and constantly told my daughter and younger son about how amazing it was. As a result, my 2 younger kids are incredibly excited for their chance to go to Disney. My daughter was supposed to go on this trip last year, but couldn't for obvious reasons. My
Yeah.
younger son is entering 8th grade this fall, and the school
Tiger King.
administration has said that the Disney trip will resume in spring 2022. When my daughter found out, she started crying, saying that it's so unfair that both of her brothers could go to Disney, but she couldn't. I said that we could go as a family to Disney during winter break, but she said it's still not fair because then her brothers would get to would get 2 Disney trips while she would only get 1. She also said that going to Disney with family is not the same as going to Disney with friends.
Agreed.
True.
As 100%.
Preach.
At this point, right. At this point, I said that there's no world where I don't let her brother go on this trip next spring just because she thinks it's unfair. I expected my wife to back me up here, but she said I should seriously consider my daughter's point of view since online school was tough and not being able to hang out with her friends sucked. I read this early. I read this earlier today, and I'm like, I need to, because this one feels not obvious. Like
I agree.
this one,
This is a gray area, I think.
yeah.
I agree.
I
Not to
present-
Stephanie. Not to Stephanie. Stephanie does not see gray. She sees white, black, yellow, and green. That's all the only colors she
Yeah.
sees. But gray.
What? So the guy. So this man is his daughter is missed out on this opportunity. Arguably, you know, like a big.
Is that the end of the post?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I picked.
Yeah,
the quick-
just a quick one.
That's it.
Yeah, to be honest, it's not like I don't understand that the girl's very sad and this is all tragic and everything like that. But like, bro, me missing out on my freaking family and doing my baby shower with them and all that shit during COVID doesn't mean that none of my friends get to have baby showers now. Like,
Yeah.
Also,
you missing out.
Hours.
But I'm saying, like, you missing out on something doesn't mean other people have to.
Right.
Your misfortune can be acknowledged without it having to be at everyone else's detriment. And like one of the things that'd be important for his daughter to learn is like, look, like we all went through this big sad thing. We can't keep that kind of pain just rolling down. Like your brothers can go. I mean, I understand her wanting to go with her friends. Then maybe he just helps her go with her friends to Disney. That's it.
She lost me a little bit when she started doing the counting. It's like, well, then they get one, and then I get one, and then you get two, and I'm like,
yeah, but that gets negated when she brought up the point about going with your family is not the same thing as going with your friends. Because no matter how many, you could take away the whole 2 versus 1 argument easily with the going with your friends is not the same as going with your family, and it's the truth. We all agree to that. It's not the truth.
It's 100% true.
I would say I agree. Most people are saying Olivia, my friend Olivia, Rookie, and Vanessa all are saying that it's and Jeff. I think was it Jeff? No. But they all said that it's the kids, the asshole in this, the girl.
Yeah, fuck them kids.
I will say I understand her point of view.
This is a teachable moment, though.
It is a teachable moment. However, there are multiple teachable things here. One, life isn't fair, kid.
Yeah.
COVID came around in your year. Sucks. Sorry to hear that. Nothing I could do about it. Nothing anybody could do about it. Because we weren't giving enough information with plenty of time, and somebody threw away the playbook that was supposed to take care of this. So nothing that we can do about it now because we didn't have proper
Who would
leadership.
do such a thing?
Because we didn't have proper leadership. So I would say I'm sorry to hear that. It sucks. I know it sucks for you. But I would do what if it was my daughter, I would do what Stephanie talked about. I would say I would pay for you to go to Disney with your friends. And you go with your friends. And we'll do that. That's a compromise. I'm not taking away my son's trip because that's fucking
right. There's no way that like we all agree that the youngest son is going on that trip, right?
Yeah.
Like there's no reason to punish this other kid. I feel
Yeah.
like we're all little siblings. Are you don't have any siblings?
I'm the
You're
older.
On one side of the family, I'm the oldest, and the other one, I'm in the middle.
I'm the oldest and not the favorite, like certified. No, confirmed.
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 Who confirms this?
My mother confirmed it.
I have so many questions about your childhood.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm fine now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, let's not. All right.
I'm fine.
There's an asterisk.
Let's not jump to any conclusions. You know what I'm saying? Let's see.
Can I say who I think the asshole
Yeah,
is?
please.
Yeah.
I kind of think that it's the dad that wants to do the trip for just their friends.
No,
that's
for the distant friends is not on the table. That was my recommendation. I'd say I would recommend that.
I gotta go back to the drawing board because I was gonna.
So the dad is the one that says that he says that he's not gonna cancel his sons, and
the mom was suggesting that he consider
you
missing
should
the trip.
consider your daughter's feelings on this. and her point of view.
Consider her feelings, absolutely. Meet her where she's at with her feelings, but it is a teachable moment. Like shit happens where you don't get your way and you get fucked over sometimes. So I don't know. Better you learn with like COVID is the asshole.
Yes, Vanessa's right. COVID's I mean, like that's fucked up so many. Look, 2020 was supposed to be the year I travel. You know what I mean? Like that was
you know what I
mean? Like I planned vacations and shit. Like everybody got
still went on vacation, Mike.
After.
Yeah. And you just so
what I'm saying is,
and you made more money during 2020.
Oh,
can we stop with this, Mike? Can we stop with this, Mike?
I also have active the active trauma disorder, not PTSD. It's happening now. It was happening in all the moment.
What's active disorder? I don't know what active disorder is.
It's like what you get PTSD from, but it's happening still. You know what I mean? Like
it's not post, like, it's current.
It's not post.
Yeah,
it's
current trauma disorder. Like I'm.
It's traumatic now.
When would then be now?
Soon. The point being is that like it was a fucking nightmare to go through, you know. But like I was able to go to fucking Hawaii because I do feel guilty a little bit because I was lucky enough to keep working. I didn't lose my job. I had money. And I'm saying that to you, Neri, but like I do feel a little guilty, but also like I had to go every day to where the thing was. You know what I mean? Like
he did go to ground zero every day.
There was no question.
His job is at ground zero, so Hawaii is kind of like the yin to the yang. Like it was reparations.
It's a little for me, Neri. Don't you take this from me? Sorry.
Like I had to go to ground zero and pick up a paycheck every week. Do you understand what the fuck that
Oh my god.
No, I don't know what that's like, Michael.
But the truth is that this is a tricky thing that girl's gonna like. That'll be something she's mad about for a while.
Yeah, but you know what? If trauma makes you funny, so whatever.
The thing is, look, she can stay mad and she can stay mad forever. It's just kind of like
give her a cape. She'll be Superman. Who gives a fuck?
But I'm saying like
you ain't going back in time and changing COVID, bro. Shit happened, dog.
Yeah, and it's just the messaging. Like I imagine the wife is like, you can't just outright ignore her. Like, but like you have to be realistic. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna, because you feel bad, I'm not gonna deprive this.
And here's the thing, man. Here's what I will tell a daughter. Like, man, it sucks that COVID happened, but holding your brother back will not give you that experience.
Yeah.
Like if I don't let your brother have that experience in no which way, shape, or form, and even where I would say I personally would be like, hey man, how about I pay for you and your friends to go to Disney by yourselves? Like I'll drive you up there or whatever the fuck. But once you're in the because she's in 8th grade, once you're in the park, you go out by your fucking selves and whatever the fuck, and just call me what time you want me to pick you up, and I'll fucking pick you up. That's the best I can do, because at the end of the day, I'm not renting a fucking bus, filling it with teenage boys that I don't fucking trust, and fucking having you shipped off in this fucking bus and having you finger blasted on your way to fucking Disney. All right, I'm sorry, I can't duplicate what would have happened on that trip.
This to stop.
Yeah, that's what happens on that trip.
That's where you grab your first titty. I
don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, I hooked up on my trip.
Yeah, I hooked up on that fucking trip. So I mean,
so did I. Totally awesome. Yep. No.
Oh man.
One of these things is not like
one of these things will die alone. Okay, so
mine was different because it was Busch Gardens, not this.
Busch Gardens.
I did that one too.
I don't know. Fuck these kids.
Yeah,
Just get over your bullshit.
Fuck these kids.
I don't fucking
hard, die mad.
I mean, if that's the worst thing, I mean, I get that in the construct of your whatever 8th grade, it's the worst thing that could happen. But given the fucking wide concept of trauma and fucking atrocities of last year, fuck your trip. I don't care.
I mean,
I have no opinion about this. Am I the asshole? Because fuck the parents, fuck the kid, fuck the school, fuck all of them. I don't care.
Damn.
Everyone's just a bunch of assholes.
Call that 13-year-old girl a cunt again or whatever.
I don't know. I thought I would be more on the other side of like, maybe you do hold back the son. And then hearing you guys talk, I was like, I guess you're right.
Fuck the kids.
Fuck them kids.
Fuck that chick.
No, but honestly, it would be a bad precedent to set for the daughter. President.
And here's the
Be my
truth.
president.
Here's the truth. Here's the other.
Like-
Here's the other lesson. Teachable moment is
Mhm.
life isn't fair.
Yeah.
It's the truth. Right?
What?
Life
I
isn't
always get
fair.
everything I want. Everything is going right
There-
according to schedule. What are you talking about?
Life isn't fair sometimes, and sometimes we want things that we can't have, and other things stop us from doing that. And I'm sorry, but we gotta roll with the punches and fucking do what we gotta do, man.
That's
And
how
also just,
winning
like,
is done.
It's also
Gotta
just teaching her how to
know.
make the best out of everything too. Like you just have to learn how to.
Yeah.
It's not
I
about
don't know,
how
as a-
many times you get knocked down. It's about how many times you get up. Is that how
As a
it goes?
parent, you have to entertain all of these
How does it
dumbass
go?
like issues. Like as a parent, do you ever look at your kid? I'm curious. And they're worried about like whatever it is that they're crying about, and you have your adult problems in your head. And don't you want to be like, shut the fuck up? I have real problems.
I have told my
Or
daughter.
am I a bad mom? Like you're
No, Mrs. Yasso. I have told my daughter, I know that this is a big deal for you, but you have to, and then shown her.
but
like,
I don't have a job, bitch.
But shut the fuck up.
because fucking daddy needs money, and nobody's fucking contributing to the fucking WuBro podcast app.
Oh
So
boy,
I'm
that's
the
not
fucking-
how you do that.
No,
That's
but
not how you do that.
in honesty, that was a joke, obviously, but it would have landed had my fucking co-host laughed and not gone, oh boy, this is it may have had a better chance of landing.
All right, do it again.
No, it's fine. So,
Hold
but
for
I
the
do
edit.
tell
We'll
my-
edit it out in post.
but I do. I'll fix it in post. Everything we fix in post. But I do tell my daughter. I have told my daughter, like, I know this is a big deal now, and it's gonna suck for you right now, but I promise you later on it's gonna. There's a couple of things that I've had, conversations. with her
Ricky
about.
just brought up something good.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
good point.
As adults, that's
No,
good.
the
No.
one right before that.
I know. She missed the trip because of COVID. Her brother would be missing the trip because of her.
Mm.
Her in capital letters. Does that mean like God? But a few? No. This is how you end up with siblings that don't talk to each other. Also, this is how you end up with siblings who demand that their father walk them down the aisle before anybody else.
Oh yes.
Full circle moment.
Full
circle.
That's why I said fuck these kids.
Yeah.
Look, these kids. I agree, Ricky. That's a good point, man.
I
Like,
agree
hey,
with him too.
Yeah.
COVID could not be avoided. I mean, it could have been, but once it shit happened, we couldn't do anything about it. We could do something about your brother going. Like that's within our control. And so let him finger bang a chick on the bus, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't cock block your brother, ho.
Yeah.
Name
Background
of the
music,
episode.
family
Don't
conversation.
cock block your brother, comma, ho.
Oh man.
That's where the comma goes.
I'm fucking awful.
Guys, I think we accomplished some goals here today.
Oh my
we did.
god. Everything that was up. I don't know.
Did we talk about everything that I meant to talk about? The
I
Batman
think
shit,
so.
the gay football player.
Yeah, we did it. We hit it all.
Yeah. The Britney. We hit
Yeah.
all that shit.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, no,
Not Britney,
the
just
phrase
Britney.
Britney's a Tamagotchi is stuck in my head.
Yolanda is I'm Missy. I want whatever.
No,
Missy's
that's
having.
Vanessa. That's your wife.
Oh, that is Vanessa. I'm sorry. This is why I got it confused because it came in the last second. Yolanda said Missy's on fire tonight. That's where.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So I think what we're trying to say to wrap this up in a neat little bow is free Britney.
Free Britney.
Fuck
Definitely.
these kids.
Let Batman go down on fucking Catwoman.
Please.
On
Also,
Harley.
don't-
On Harley.
No, on Catwoman.
It was
Catwoman.
Catwoman?
It's Catwoman.
No, it was on the show Harley, but he was going down on Catwoman.
Oh.
Uh,
Both.
Well, out of a sudden, monogamy means nothing to you. It's nothing sacred to you, Michael. Nothing.
Let
Batman
me tell
doesn't
you
do
about
that.
Luca, the star Blightbringer from Revelation, okay?
Revelations. Read your
Take-
Bible, people.
Some people just need to get the internet taken away from them. Honestly.
Also,
Please take it away from me.
give
Please,
me
dear God.
instructions with animals in them, and then we'll be fine.
Oh my God.
All right.
Look
Anyways,
at that.
thank you for checking us out. Make sure you check out Missy's writing. Is your website up yet? No, still working.
Working on it,
Working
but
on it.
I'm funny on Twitter. I picked a fight with Perez Hilton today, so go,
Yeah,
so
Perez
go
Hilton
follow
is
me.
on
Missy's
the-
been accomplishing a lot today.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck
Oh,
that
yeah.
guy.
At Missy the writer. Mac Mercadal is everything at Mac Mercadal. Stephanie.
Oh, sorry. I'm at hello_my dear Watson. The computer just wouldn't let me put it in today.
Oh,
That's what she said.
title. So make sure you check out the WuBro Pod Patreon. Go to patreon.com/WuBro Pod. Cash App is the same. Cash App $, WuBro. Donate if you want. If you don't want to donate, if you want to get something for your buck, we recommend you go to Patreon, right? Mike, who's our Patreon?
Rookie.
Rookie's our Patreon.
The
So
OG.
shout out to Rookie.
Day one.
When you walked away to the bathroom, I was like, was it Rookie or was it Izu? Because I know both of them are day ones.
Oh geez.
Izu's on there, but I don't know about Patreon. I don't know about if he's on Patreon, but I know that Rookie is
The Patreon.
100% the Patreon.
So thank you for that, Rookie. Thank you for everybody who's checking us out. Go to mycomedy.com or whatwashisname.com. Go check out my Instagram. If we're not friends on Instagram, Yolanda, I don't know if you're on Instagram, but if we're not friends on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. Do that because I'm trying to, grow. I need just like a little bit less than 5,000 more followers so I could do the swipe update. That's all I fucking want in my life.
Just 5,000 more people, guys.
Because I have like 5,200, but I'm like, you need 10,000. So I need that magical 10 to be able to do the swipe update. That's all I care about.
So all of you 10,000 listeners watching right now, absolutely, please follow Nary Science.
Yolanda is already following me, she says.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Yolanda. So thank you for checking us out. That's how winning is done.